Good morning, students. Today we are going to study a wonderful lesson, a letter to God. In this lesson, there is a farmer, Lencho. The farmer was very honest, he was very hardworking, and above all, he had firm faith in God. So, what happens to him in the story? We are going to read it now. The house, the only one in the entire valley, sat on the crest of a low hill. The house of Lencho was the only one in the entire valley, and it was on the crest of a low hill. From this height, one could see the river and the field of ripe corn dotted with the flowers that always promised a good harvest. And if anybody would stand at the height, one could easily see the river that was flowing in the valley and the field of ripe corn, which was having different flowers, and it was crystal clear to everyone that Lencho was going to have a good harvest. The only thing that the earth, that the crop needed was a good rain, good shower. Throughout the morning, Lencho, who knew that his fields needed shower, had done nothing else, but he was with a hope looking continuously at the sky in the northeast. Now we are really going to get some water, woman. The woman who was preparing supper replied, Yes, God willing. And then, when he saw that the clouds were approaching in the sky, he told his wife that, Oh, we should be happy now. I had firm faith in God. I still have. And whatever I wanted, we got the same. The clouds are approaching, and I'm sure we are going to have a plenty of rain today. The older boys were working in the field while the smaller ones were playing near the house until the woman called to them, Come for dinner. And when the children of Lencho were working, some of the boys were working in the field and the smaller, the kids were playing near the house. Then the lady of the house called the children for dinner. It was during the meal that, just as Lencho had predicted, forecasted, it started raining. In the northeast, huge mountains of clouds could be seen approaching, and the air was very fresh and sweet. So Lencho started feeling very happy. He was very ecstatic. He said, Oh, these raindrops are not only raindrops, these are coins, pesos. Now Lencho wanted to enjoy this weather, this time. That's why he went out for no other reason. And to have the pleasure of feeling the rain on his body, he went outside. And when he returned, he exclaimed, These are not raindrops falling from the sky. They are new coins. The big drops are 10-cent pesos and the little ones are fives. It's really getting bad now. Why? The man exclaimed this, that it was not really well now. Because the rain turned into a storm and the hailstones had started falling. I hope it passes quickly, and he means the Lancho was hoping that this scene will pass quickly. This time will pass very quickly. It did not pass quickly, but it did not pass. For an hour, it rained on the house and the garden, the hillside, the cornfield, on the whole valley. The field was white as if covered with salt. All hailstones had covered the crops, the hillside, the valley, the entire area, and not an inch of earth could be seen. Only the hailstones were visible. Not a leaf remained on the trees. The corn was totally destroyed. The flowers were gone from the plants. Lencho's soul was filled with sadness. Now Lencho became very sad, disheartened. The hail has left nothing. This year we will not have any corn. That night was a sorrowful one. All the work that Lencho had and his family members had done, it was not going to give him anything. It was of no use for him. There was no one who could help them. Lencho knew this very well, and he knew this that his all family members will go hungry that year. But in the hearts of all who lived in that solitary house in the middle of the valley, there was a single hope: help from God. Don't be so upset, even though this seems a total loss. Children, this thing can be felt only by the person who has a firm faith in God. And because Lencho was an optimist and he had firm faith in God, that's why he said that don't be sad. God is there, Almighty is there, He is omnipotent, omnipresent. He is going to help us. Remember, no one dies of hunger. That is what they say. No one dies of hunger. Yes, it's true. No one dies of hunger. All through the night, Lencho thought only of his one hope: the help of God, whose eyes, as he had been instructed, see everything when even what is deep in one's conscience. Means, though whatever you have in your heart, that whatever you plan, that can be that will be known to only one person, and that is God. God knows everything. Lencho was an ox of a man, working like an animal in the field, but still he knew how to write. Means he had just decided that he will write a letter to God and explain all his sufferings, whatever he had in his heart. He is going to open his heart to God and tell him his problem. The following Sunday, at daybreak, he began to write a letter which he decided that he himself would go and carry that to the town and place it in the mail. It was nothing less than a letter to God. And in that letter, he had written, "Oh God, if you don't help me, my family and I will go hungry this year. I need 100 pesos in order to sow my fields again and to live until the crop comes, because you all know why I need that. The hailstones, dash, dash, dash." He wrote to God on the envelope and put the letter inside, and, still troubled, went to town. He was still troubled whether he will get the money in the time, or some time, or some kind of uh, I should say, he was just thinking about something else also. Went to the town. At the post office, he placed a stamp on the letter and dropped it in the mailbox. One of the employees, who was a postman and also helped at the post office, went to his boss and he started laughing heartily when he showed the letter to the postmaster, and he showed where the address was of God. It was addressed to God. So he started laughing. Never in his career as a postman had he known that address. The postmaster, a fat person, very amusing personality, also started laughing. But almost immediately he turned very serious. Tapping the letter on his desk, He commented, "What faith! I wish I had the faith of man who wrote this letter." And starting up a correspondence with God. Can you think about it? Can you imagine it? So, in order not to shake the writer's faith in God, the postmaster decided that they all will collect the money and then the money will be given to Lancho as a help. And then all the people, post office employees, collected the money, and they could collect only 70 pesos, and then they gave it to Lancho by post. Then when Lencho got the letter, he was not surprised. He was not surprised because he had firm faith in God. That's why. But when Lencho opened the envelope and he counted the money, he became very angry. God could not have made a mistake, nor could he have denied Lencho what he had requested. Immediately, Lencho went up to the window to ask for the paper and ink. And on the public writing table, he started writing one more letter to God, wrinkling his eyebrows, and which caused some effort of Lencho. And then he started writing. He went to the window. After finishing the letter, he went to the window to buy a stamp, which he licked and then affixed to his the envelope with a blow of his fist. The moment the letter fell into the mailbox, the postmaster went to open it. It said, "God, I had asked you for 100 pesos, but I got only 70 pesos. Send me the rest, since I need it very much. I know that you would have sent me the whole money, but these post office employees are crooks, a bunch of crooks. They might have taken 30 pesos out of my envelope. So please, I request you to send me the rest of the money through some other source. Thank you, Lancho." So class, that's all. Now we are going to study the lesson word by word from the text. Thank you.